we decided to go for the Wigan manager, John Sheridan,
Who is
because
it
he
we
was
want to give
cheap.
the Swindon job?
Paul Cook. I wanted
That would have
him.
been a better
He was
shout.
my second choice behind the Cowley brothers, Danny Cowley.
Yeah, but they would have been super expensive only because
Yeah,
they had
but you
that
gotta
little
be
taste of
ambitious.
championship.
Yeah, you gotta be ambitious though. Paul Cook is a good manager as well, and I would like to have seen him get the job. But we went cheap and cheerful. We went for John Sheridan because we lack ambition,
The problem is
apparently.
the, the problem is though is the fact that and I was chatting to someone the other day who, funnily enough, actually used to work for Lee Power, saying that Lee basically Swindon Town is running on, I think he said, their wage bill something ridiculous, like for like the entire club is about 400,000. Um, Lee Power
Jesus.
is Lee Power's putting in £2 million a year of his own money.
Yeah, I did read
Uh,
somewhere that he was putting in 2 or 3 million quid.
yeah, that was
Um,
every year.
yeah,
Uh, so
I
he's
mean,
even gone on record saying that it's his intention to sell the club when he can. Because it doesn't sound like it's sustainable the way he's pouring money into it. He's going to run out of money at the end of the day. And the
I
fact
think
is that the majority of Power's money comes from racehorses.
yeah, and that industry's taken a bit of a kicking this year. I mean, if you can't afford the clubs, sell it. I mean, I don't understand why League One and League Two clubs aren't. The salary cap is there. You can make it a profitable
Mm,
business. You just don't spend money on transfers. You just invest it in youth and training facilities and make
absolutely.
better players that way and improve the squad. And then you bring in an manager that is ambitious, and then you try and sign free agents. It's not the most difficult thing in the world. I mean, why
To be
why
fair,
make it a ball ache?
mm,
I don't think it's that difficult. That's what I do on Football Manager. I just find cheap players, bring them in, even if they're no good, and just play them and try and train them up. That's okay. Yeah, it's a simplistic view of it, but that's how League Two and League One clubs should operate. Forget the
mm,
academy, scrap the academy, save that money, go sign a bunch of released players from like Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, because you're never going to compete for the best young players anyway. It's what Brentford did. They got rid of their academy and look where they are. They're on the cusp of Premier League football. Follow that business model. A great business model, Brentford. Pay for a new stadium. Use that Moneyball approach. They don't like that tag. But if you brought more data and analytics into your recruitment policy, then you'd come out with, on paper, a squad that should be good enough to be promoted. And then you just need a manager that also is good enough to be promoted. So I don't think it's that hard to run
mm,
a club at a profit, especially with the salary cap. I think without the salary cap, it's a lot harder. But now that
mm.
there's the salary cap, maybe I'm just being an idiot about it and thinking the mythical salary cap is going to save all League One and League Two clubs. But I
Yeah,
don't know. I thought that's what the salary cap was there for.
it should be what it's there for. I imagine it was also there to stop any like mass clubs with big financial backing, but poor
Salford.
performances on the pitch drop them down. Sorry,
Salford. Salford.
Salford, Sunderland as well.
Portsmouth.
Clubs that clubs that have got more money than their league positioning would suggest. I
Mm.
think it's designed to stop them from overspending as well. But no, I think Powers bent on selling the club. So
Do you think he's done a good
he's
job?
I think he has, and I think a lot of Swindon Town fans are using. I think they use Power as a scapegoat sometimes, but as a substitute, as an excuse to bash the performances by the players on the pitch. Um, and a lot of the time, you just got to look at. I mean, if you look at Richie Wellens, he managed to get not only good players but players that work together. A lot of the time, the problem Swindon have had is that they've had some good players, some not so good players, but can't work together as a team.
Mm.
And then that falls on Power, and they're saying that it's his fault it's his fault that the club are in the position they're in. But if you look at it from a financial perspective, I mean, this is something that happened around the time me and you started college. Was when Di Canio first left. Matt Ritchie, he left the club even though he said he wasn't going to, because because Matt Ritchie was sold from under his nose to Bournemouth. You know, we're going back time here. You know, Matt Ritchie,
yeah. I remember. Yeah.
things like that. And Andrew Black, the former owner of the club, because the way Di Canio was spending money, had to sell up, and the club went into administration countless times during that period. I remember chatting to a friend of mine who works at the county ground, or someone they know works at the county ground, saying that for a long time after that, for about 2 or 3 years, the club was hemorrhaging money when it was owned by that consortium led by Jed McCrory. You know, they said it was the simple things like, you know, they couldn't afford to pay for the barrels of alcohol that they fill the taps with on game day in the Legends Lounge. You know, they couldn't afford the booze there. They said if he's done anything for the club, he's got it financially steady, he's got it self-sufficient.
I do remember the darkest moment in recent memory is Swindon Town's appearance on Can't Pay, We'll Take It Away on Channel 5. That was during the legal battle between Power and McCrory. I don't know. I'm always, when it comes to Power, I just view him as unambitious, lacking in ambition. I mean, it's all right if you want to sign cheap players. That's fine. That's what I spent about 60 seconds saying you can do that and still get promoted. You just need to have a little bit more of a sensible approach and an analytical approach. What you don't need to do is appoint Tim Sherwood, the director of football, or Paul Jewell, the director of football. People that are dinosaurs of the game, like Paul Jewell, that really don't know that much about the modern game. When was Paul Jewell last successful as a manager? He was the manager of that awful Derby County team. Other than Wigan, really, you know, why don't you bring in an ex-player? Why don't you bring back Paul Bowden or somebody like that to make him director of football? Why don't you get a big-name ex-player to be the director of football, not Tim Sherwood? Although I would have liked to have seen Tim Sherwood as manager, to be honest. When he was appointed director of football, I was very disappointed. Because I thought, when he was appointed, I was like, if he's managing this club, I'd absolutely freaking love it. That's an ambitious appointment. But anyway, turns out he was absolutely rubbish.
Not as disappointed as I was when he first introduced Tim Sherwood at that press conference, and they had the strategically placed 3 cans of Red Bull on the stage, and the rumor went round that Town were going to Lee Power was going to sell up to Red Bull.
Red Bull Swindon.
That would have given us money.
We would have been playing at the Red Bull Arena, and we'd have been.
We would have been Red Bull
Swindon. Yeah, Red Bull Swindon. Hey, do it. You know, hey, even if you bought Swindon Supermarine, I'd do it. I'd change allegiances very quickly. I just want Swindon in the Premier League. Hey, go as far out as Highworth Town for all I care.